seems to be a fitting message considering the sermon topic this morning. So I think we'll get a good segue for me here. Thank you.
You're welcome.
On September 16, 2001, my wife Carol received a double lung transplant due to a disease which became more and more disabling and resulting in her using oxygen 24 hours a day for well over a year prior to receiving the transplant. During that same period, another family who we do not know even to this day suffered a tragic, unexpected loss, losing husband and father. That family, while trying to make some sense of and grieving over the loss, nonetheless decided to donate the organs, and in doing so gave Carol her life back. Carol received the gift of life, a gift which enabled her to see her grandchildren through their formative years, to celebrate birthdays, graduations, acceptance to college, as well as family reunions, and so many more meaningful days which we all too often take for granted. November is a month where the New York Organ Donor Network directs their efforts to the religious community in an effort to increase the number of potential donors, adding same to the New York Donor Registry. I speak to you today as a volunteer representative of that organization, and I am asking those of you who have not already made the decision and have registered to give serious consideration to adding your name to the list. New York stands 47th in the list of states where its citizens have had their names added to the list. It is not that people don't support the idea of transplant. It is, as noted in surveys, that they haven't taken the necessary steps to register. What most of us do not understand is that even with approximately 250,000 of our population of over 300 million dying each year, it is that less than 1% will die in a condition which makes it possible for their organs to be considered for transplant. That's right, less than 1%. That condition, brain death, occurs infrequently, as it must be in a controlled atmosphere, hospital ER or ICU, where steps are taken to keep the individual in a state where the organs will not be deprived of oxygen. It is technical, and I can explain it further after service for those of you who are interested. But the message here is that unless there is brain death, all of the organs will die simultaneously and will not be usable. The medical community has tried, but the results don't justify the usage for the longly sustained life. There are other matters which we encounter when addressing the need to become a donor, and those are misunderstandings which people have. I am too old. My organs won't be of any use. That may be true, but we advise you to sign up anyway and let the health professionals make that determination if and when the situation arises. There is a case of a 90-year-old donating a kidney. The recipient, an 80-year-old. I have a medical condition which excludes me, possibly, but that could change. So again, let the health professionals decide. Today, even a person with AIDS can be a donor. True, his organs would not go to someone who did not have AIDS, but they could go to a person who already has AIDS, but needed an organ. And our giving does not stop with organs we can donate. Many other parts of our body which can and will help to improve the lives. While you have to be brain dead to give your organs, almost anyone at the time of death can be a tissue donor. What are tissues? Parts of the body which do not have a direct flow of blood, such as corneas, a tissue over the dark part of your eye. Heart valves, which control the flow of blood through the chambers of your heart. Skin, used in a very thin layer as a living bandage for burn victims. Veins for bypass surgery. Bone, tendons, ligaments, used for other sports injuries. At the time of death, almost anyone can be a tissue donor and improve up to 50 lives, while those dying of brain death can save up to 8 lives. Right here in this congregation, we have families impacted by organ, tissue, and eye donation, either as a family donating or as a family receiving the gifts of life. Won't you give some serious thought and imagine what it would be like if something were to impact your family, would not be an organ available? Of the 240,000 people on the current waiting list, 18 each and every day die. Not that we don't know how to save them, it's that the supply is not sufficient. In conclusion, as a personal note, as I waited through the night and early morning hours in an empty family waiting room at Columbia Presbyterian Hospital on September 16th, I noted a sign whose message stuck with me all these years. Don't take your organs to heaven. Heaven knows we need them here. Pastor sent me an email last night and asked me if I would just say a couple of words about a meeting that we are having. I belong to another group, the Transplant Support Organization, and there's a meeting this Wednesday which is going to have a panel of clergy, and they are going to talk about the religious impact of organ, tissue, and eye donation. All are welcome. It is on Wednesday evening, the 19th, at 7 o'clock. The meeting will be at the Greenberg Town Hall, which is on Hillside Avenue at the intersection of the old Tarrytown Road. Very simple place to get to, adequate parking. The meeting starts at 7 with a social half hour, and the actual panel meeting starts at 7:30. You are all invited if you want to look into this situation more carefully, but I think it'll be very worthwhile for you. Also, at the end of the service today, I will be downstairs, and we'll be happy to talk to anybody with reference to this. And we do have forms here where you can sign up today if that is your desire. But please, take time to think about this. It is so important to so many people.